Hi, everyone. My name is Laurel Wilson with Mother Journey, and I wanted to talk to all of you today about marijuana and breastfeeding. We have recently had many more states legalize marijuana for both medical and recreational use. And anytime this happens, then of course we have a lot of healthcare professionals who work with families start to wonder, how do I talk to my patients? How do I talk to the families that come and I provide services for? What do I tell my breastfeeding moms? Is it safe or is it not safe? And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of very clear human data. Now, one of the reasons why marijuana use during pregnancy and breastfeeding might be a particular concern is because we have something called our endocannabinoid system that is rapidly in development from very early on in pregnancy, from literally the early days of conception up until the child is about 5 years old. And our endocannabinoid system was actually discovered through the use of marijuana research. It is a system that essentially has a couple of types of receptors, Cb1 and Cb2. And what this system essentially does throughout most of our body is create homeostasis. It is also responsible for the neural networking that occurs throughout pregnancy and also in the early part of our development as a human. Now, the Cb1 receptors that we have are found throughout our nervous system, in our connective tissue, in our gonads, and also in our organs. And then we also have something called Cb2 receptors. And these are found throughout our immune system and also in the associated structures of our immune system. Now, we naturally produce ligands that connect to and bind to the receptors throughout our endocannabinoid system, and these are called anandamide and 2-AG. And we produce these ligands to lock into the receptors of our endocannabinoid system to essentially tell the endocannabinoid system what to do and when to do it. And again, some of the things that the endocannabinoid system is really responsible for is it affects learning and memory, it affects anxiety, it affects depression, it has a role in addictive behaviors. It also has a role in neuroprotection, the protection of our brain as we develop. And why we are concerned during this really critical developmental time when we are developing the immune function of the baby, and we are developing the really crucial portion of the brain that is responsible for long-term mood stability and also critical thinking, is that two really active ingredients in marijuana are THC and CBD, or cannabidiol. And these two chemicals have a very similar shape to our body's endogenous cannabinoids. And that means that when an individual is using cannabis, that those two cannabinoids, THC and CBD, can actually lock into our endocannabinoid system and shove out the natural endogenous cannabinoids and essentially tell the body to do different work than our body's natural cannabinoids are telling the body to do. Now, what this means long term for a developing child, human child, we don't know. There is some suspicion, looking at some longitudinal studies, that it can affect motor ability, it can affect neural functioning long term, and it can affect our thought processes. Now, specific data in humans we are really unclear about, and partly that's because marijuana is still a Schedule 1 substance through the federal government, meaning that it's very difficult because it is classified as not having any sort of therapeutic use and in fact high risk for addiction. That's what a Schedule 1 substance actually means to the federal government. And because that has not changed, it's very hard to get grant money to study the impact and long-term effects or even short-term effects of marijuana in the United States. Now, luckily, we are seeing some new studies. In fact, Dr. Hale has a study coming up looking at the amount of THC that is accessing breast milk, and we hope to have some data in the next couple of years from his study. And we also are seeing quite a few additional studies that are looking specifically at the newborn. But right now, we don't have a whole lot of human data. What we do have is a lot of animal data that suggests altering the endocannabinoid system through non-endogenous cannabinoids can be um, pretty serious. Now, if you'd like to learn a little bit more, please do visit my website at www.motherjourney.com. Click on my resources page, and you can find a lot of information about marijuana and breastfeeding. I also have a 1-hour webinar for professionals to learn in depth all about marijuana and the endocannabinoid system and the research that we do have about marijuana and pregnancy and breastfeeding use. I'm also available to speak with your public health center at your conference or for grand rounds. So feel free to contact me if you have any questions. My email is info@motherjourney.com. Thanks so much.